Later today, I'll post a very, very, very special draft preview. And yeah, I said draft preview. Probably sometime in the afternoon PST, so be on the lookout for that. I'll put a card right on the top corner of your screen once that is out, but I wanted to talk a little bit about Victor Soderstrom today, because if you remember, back in my Podkolzin draft reaction video for the Canucks, I was saying, okay, please, don't take Soderstrom, don't take Soderstrom. I love Soderstrom, but not at 10, and lo and behold, the Arizona Coyotes traded up from 14 to 11 to draft Soderstrom, which was very interesting to me that they would trade up to take Soderstrom, who I believed would have been available at 14, but overall, there's just a little bit of a different vibe with Soderstrom going into this draft. I know some Vancouver fans, Chris Faber in particular, who hosts the Canucks Conversation podcast, he was all over Soderstrom, and he wanted Soderstrom, maybe not a 10, but he thought that Soderstrom had the potential to be a top 2. I personally believe Soderstrom has the potential to be a top 4 max, but I believe that he's probably one of the safer picks in the draft, which is why I made a Why I Want video on him and everything. I just thought that if we were going to get Soderstrom, I would have wanted to trade it down, but instead the Arizona Coyotes trade up, and it turns out that they really, really like Soderstrom. A lot. In fact, in the post-draft interview, Coyotes general manager John Chayka said that they had Victor Soderstrom ranked 3rd on their board. That is literally the quote. It's in a video, they released it on Twitter. They had him at 3rd. The Arizona Coyotes draft list went Jack Hughes, Capo Caco, Victor Soderstrom. And then the rest of the picks play out afterwards, which is absolutely incredible to me. I don't know how much you can hear that I'm smiling behind this microphone, but Victor Soderstrom was ranked 3rd by the Coyotes, and they traded up to get him from 14 to 11. A lot of Vancouver Canucks fans were kind of crapping out about this. They were like, oh, what a meme. Vancouver fans were saying if we wanted Soderstrom, we should trade down, but the Coyotes traded up, so haha Arizona. But if I'm going to be honest here, it's actually kind of weird taking a look at all of the possibilities, because Chayka also said this. We tried to move up to 7, tried to move up to 8, we tried every single avenue, and again, we offered more than we actually ended up giving up just because we couldn't find a dance partner. We were going to exhaust every avenue, and if we didn't leave the draft with Soderstrom, we were going to know that we didn't leave anything on the field. We were convinced, and we were going to make sure we got our guy. So they were potentially trying to move up to 7 to draft Soderstrom, tried to move up to 8 to draft Soderstrom, and man, Chayka's got such an incredible draft list that's so different than the consensus, and I applaud the man for that, seriously. This is the guy that took Barrett Hayton with the 5th overall pick back in 2018. This is the guy that had Soderstrom ranked 3rd. This is the scouting staff that traded up for Soderstrom. They tried to trade up to 7 and to 8 to draft Soderstrom, and if you're that dedicated to a guy, then I applaud you. Seriously, if it's not the consensus, if it's not the person that everybody expects it to be, then I applaud you straight up for sticking to your guts. But overall, Soderstrom going at 11 is not too bad. I'm gonna be honest, I had him pegged around 10-ish, a little bit after 10 is where I believe he should have gone, and that's where he went. I believe that he could have gone 14th if the Coyotes kept their 14th pick, but I was looking around the Arizona Coyotes subreddit, and they were saying in the comments about how apparently the Flyers at 11 really wanted to take Soderstrom, so they traded down to 14 with Arizona, because apparently the Flyers didn't think that Arizona was going to take Soderstrom, and thus when they traded up with Philadelphia to take Soderstrom, Philly had to settle for the next best defenseman on their list, which was Cam York, at 14th overall, which is a very interesting story. I don't know the validity behind that. That was just me reading a whole bunch of comments, but the Coyotes, man, they really love Soderstrom, and they liked Barrett Hayton too, which is why they took that pick at 5. Soderstrom went 11, and John Chayka walked out of the draft believing that they got their guy, which always is very nice to see. Sure, Coyotes fans, if you didn't want Soderstrom, then boo-hoo, but you got yourself a guy who's probably going to be a really safe top 4 defenseman in the NHL one day, a nice, smooth, shifty skater, a guy who makes the right decisions at the right times, and honestly is a very nice NHL prospect. Hope you enjoyed this video, social99, and bye.